A quick little intro on this video. We're taking a deep dive into the electrical systems on the boat and mainly the power distribution board and the issues that we had with that. This is the sixth video in a series of, I don't know how many there's going to be. There will be many, because it's a blow-by-blow account of everything we had to do to get the boat from sitting in a shipyard doing nothing, left for 2 years, to actually functional and sailing a family of 4 across the ocean. So if you're interested in the nitty gritty and the blow-by-blow important stuff that needs to be checked, then check this out. There might be something in there. There might be a little bit of gold, a few diamonds that you might enjoy. If you're not into that kind of stuff, like all the technical, I guess, questions and head scratching and everything that goes into what you need to look at if you are buying a boat or trying to fix an issue on one, this video is probably not for you. It is in portrait mode, bit of a warning there. Some people don't like that. I don't like it. But the info is all there. It's real. It is practical, how to, and yeah, you might get a kick out of it. So hope you enjoy. Let us know. A little question here for those that may know. We look at this and we've got ourselves 12.7 volts, and that's across every battery because they're all linked in parallel. 12.75. Yet when we look up at the power that actually gets up to here, it's showing that there's only 12.5 volts. And then when we look at the power that's actually going to the distribution bar here, let me set this up, put in the negative and the positive, and then what we've got is 12.5, which is what it's reading up the top. So between here, where the power gets distributed to everywhere else on the boat, and the batteries, there is a voltage drop, about 0.2 of a volt. I don't know what that translates to for amps, but my understanding is we want like the full power going to here. So I guess my question is, do I need to try and run a thicker cable? These look like they're about 8mm or 10mm. Do I need to try and get a thicker cable going from the batteries or the isolator switches to this bus bar? Should I take these out and put a thicker cable in, or just bring another cable, bringing more power? That's the question. You can see here we've got our label maker. These ones are already on there. Might replace a few, but this is really helpful. So these are awesome, these fuses, if you ever see them. So to test a fuse, basically, yeah, well this is it. So instead of the fuses breaking, it just automatically switches off. So it's sort of like a mini RCD, which you have on your house. So I think all these need a good clean up as well. So all that dark stuff there, I don't think that's too good for contact. But yeah, I'm going to look at just making sure all these are right, probably taking them all off, giving them a bit of a clean, because these are all the vital systems for the boat. We'll go through it. Right, so I found the cable. It's this one here that's responsible for bringing the power across from the batteries, and it is bringing the full voltage over. This one cable here looks to be in pretty good condition in there. It's nice and fairly shiny. A little bit not so shiny at the top, but it's surrounded by this little connection thing. I've never seen this before. So I guess that just gives it a better bond, so when it does go into this, it yeah. So this darkness that I saw on the outside, I'm not sure whether that's a problem, because it is actually bringing the full 12.8 volts over now. But connected it back up and still got the same thing. There's 0.2 of a volt drop as soon as we connect. So at the moment this is 12.8 going in, and as soon as you screw it in, everything else just lights up, including this 12.6. So yeah, I don't know whether the moment that this is put into that, whatever is on at the moment, so you can hear the radio, the fridge, whatnot, is dropping the overall voltage of this. Hence, it shows that the whole distribution bar has less power in it. I guess that sort of makes sense. That could be it. So there's not an issue with the power getting to this, but once it hits this, it loses. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay, so I just did the good old process of elimination. I disconnected everything and then checked the power, and it was 12.8. So yeah, so that's what's happening. We've got full power getting to this point, and then when we've got things on, obviously this whole bar, the available power, drains. What's interesting is the available power here shows that there's only 12.6 volts or whatever it might say at the time, may say, whereas the batteries are actually, they've got more in them. They've got more in the tank than what that bus bar, and I guess our gauge is connected to that, so that's what we're, I guess, reading, what the available power that's there opposed to what the actual voltage is of the batteries. So interesting thing to note. So I don't know whether you can see, but all these connections are very tight on this bar. And what I've just noticed up here, which is where the bilge pump's connected, there's a bit of bending in the metal up here, and it didn't look like it had a lot of contact, sort of just on that corner instead of the whole thing. So it's a bit bent, so I'm just going to see if I can straighten that out and get some more solid contact, and then that might explain why the bilge pump was going on and off as I wobbled the wires, because I was increasing contact at this point, and increasing contact was making it do its thing, and then when I took it off, a gap opened. So this could be why the bilge pump didn't detect when the boat filled up with water. So let's fix it. It's a little bit bendy here, so this could have been the contact issue. We've taken it all out, we've taken it off the bar. This is separated from the rest anyway. It's got that little shunt in it. Shunt, great word. Sometimes I think I just like living on the boat and working on the boat so I can use terminology like that. But I'm going to try and flatten that out. I might get the pliers onto it and just straighten it out a little bit, and then reconnect it up, and then see how we go. But I think that's our problem. You look at that, nice and tight, heaps better than what it was. Just right in there. God, it's tight, it's perfect. So you can see now that this end here goes to the actual pump itself, which pumps the water out. You see that signal? It means, see the water in the bottom of the boat, and a little arrow going, water, piss off. So these are the water piss offers. And what makes them power up, it's not just there, it's because power goes from the bottom down there, where the bigger cables are, up to this point, which is again on the other side of that little shunt. And that is what gets these puppies going. So I hope this connection issue figures. So you can hear bilge pumps going, and no matter how much fiddling with the wires, there's no shorting, there's no stoppage. So we fixed yesterday's problem. Perfect. If you remember yesterday, I was having to, if I press this wire down here, bilge pump would turn on or off. I think I had to do with the power connection up here, because that's connected to this side and that's connected to this side, and that's where the dodgy connection was. over there, up there, between that and underneath. So you couldn't really see even what it was. But yeah, the problem was that being connected to the power source, which is this one, which is all related to here. I guess that was wobbling that wire. Anyway, one problem done. Moving on. Process of just chasing wires. Example of this one, I'm going to be able to label this with your label maker. But I'm not going to pick any fights. See all that stuff? I don't want to mess with any of that or any of that. It works. Leave it go. We got bigger fish to fry. We got holes in the bloody boat. We got engines that don't work. That stuff will be okay. For now. Let's hope. So we've solved this one. My shoes. We've solved that one. We've got our batteries sorted. Our power in isn't, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let everything run all day. So the fridge, just turn on a few appliances and whatnot, and just try and drain this battery down and see whether our solar panels have the ability of keeping the power up. When we're out cruising, when we're out at sea, we're going to probably have higher power demands. Fridge, we're going to be using the nav equipment. We're probably going to get the other fridge going as well. Now there's more of us on board. Some cold drinks for the kiddies when we're underway. So yeah, I just want to test this out while we're here. And if it's not sufficient, it seems at the moment, you can see the wind journey going. It's doing its thing. That panel seems good. That seems average. That is shit. Good average shit. So we might look at keeping that and replacing these two. When I say shit, we've had them since the boat. We're guessing that they're around 15 years old. So might be time to upgrade anyway. Yeah, not many people around the boatyard today. Most people are out. Unfortunately, we had to make sure we were able to sell the bucking seahorse first before we were able to get a van and move out and leave Mooloolaba and get here. So we've left it a little bit later than what we would have liked to have, ideally, but we wanted to go and see all our mates and family back down in Sydney before we came away, because where we're going is quite a long way away from anything. Is that in reverse? Yeah, better. So, initially coming from Lombok to Darwin, been here for a while, and now we're going to be looking, once all this shit is done, the propulsion, engines, plumbing that I'm sorting out on that side. The plumbing on this side is pretty good. Electricals, and once we mow through all the big ones, then we're going to take on the big one. It's just exciting to get in the water, and here I am procrastinating, talking to you about plans of what we're going to do on a boat that can't even float in its present state. So I should get my shit together, stop doing this and start doing this. Yeah! These little latches sometimes get jammed. This one did last time. We couldn't open it, but I've since soaked it and it seems to work 100% of the time now. So rather than buying a new one, I'm going to be able to put that puppy straight back on. This one still gets a bit stuck, so I might give that a bit of a soak as well. But for now, this is good. This part that we wanted to check for the solar panels, so they all run into here before the power is then directed through this cable down, goes down into the tugger bar, all the way down there, into the boat, into the hull, and then it goes across and then leads to the towards where all the batteries are. So these connections look awesome. I don't know whether you can see, but you can still see how clear the steel is in there. Is that the steel? I think it's tinned copper. Yeah, Doesn't seem like there's a connection issue on this point, which would lead you to believe that it's just a solar panel that's stuffed. So it's unfortunate, but yes, we're going to have to tackle this as well. Here we are, just got to Cosmos. Just dropping off some much needed supplies. Oh, still so much work to go, but we're getting there. We've just cooked up some food for the kiddies while they were waiting for us. And now they're just perched in the back, being little cuties. Let's get back. So this is our little abode. And when we pull up behind it and pull out the side, it ends up being a pretty big base for us. There's our air conditioner out there. Looks like an absolute brothel at the moment, but you know what? When we're all set up, it's not actually too shabby. So this is why as well, cannot wait to move back to the vessel. In saying that, being here, there's a jumping pillow there, there's a pool right there, and there's heaps of kids, so it's good for that.